Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope that everybody is having an awesome week so far. I hope that your weekend is starting off great. Welcome Carolina, our chat moderator. Welcome Nitu, Tina, Ruslan. Good to see many of our students here with me today in this class. Students, right now we are working on IELTS listening in this class. The listening section, of course, is the first part of the IELTS sit-down exam, and we will be targeting our fourth exam. We've got lots of our own original exams. This is exam number 4, so for those of you who have access to our materials, our videos, this is where you want to be. So we'll be doing IELTS listening. We will actually listen, we will answer, I will give you feedback on your answers, and I will give you strategies on how you can maximize your IELTS scores. This is going to be, the topics will be about university registration and a resort tour for part 1 and part 2 of this listening. And these materials are coming from aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there. And for the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we've got tons and tons of information and content to help you improve your English, your vocabulary, grammar, and your communication skills as well. Our academic IELTS website looks like this at aehelp.com. You can click this big red button to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. And we have 6 original practice exams there. We're actually going to use the audio from this website for today's listening. We are an official British Council IELTS Test Registration Center. I'm a certified British Council agent, so you're in good hands. And you can use the code, it's the discount code we have going on this week. It's CARS20. It's kind of in line with our theme this week. So CARS20 will get you a 20% discount off of our premium IELTS package. Okay, let me just check that. CARS 20. Continue. There we go. Yeah, I must have misspelt that because I was looking for that discount up here. The course is different prices in different countries, so it's cheaper in most countries. It's 59 US in Canada and US, but in India and Vietnam, I believe it's 25 US. Okay, for general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. Again, click that big red button just above my head. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. And if you have questions, you can always send me an email. My contact is adrian@aehelp.com. Only subscribers can join the chat in this class, so to chat and to give answers for the listening section that we're looking at today, make sure to subscribe. Click that bell button as well to get notifications of our live classes. We've got more live classes tomorrow We will be doing speaking. Our chat system is working nice and smooth now, so we'll have speaking tomorrow, part 2 and part 3 as well. Okay, and I highly recommend checking out our newest speaking video. It's a really good one where we interview, actually I interview a student from Madhya Pradesh. So check that out, okay? And we'll have free speaking interview opportunities on Lighthall, which is an awesome platform for live teaching. So those special classes will be June 19th. I'm just copying this into the chat, so you can check that out in the chat, okay? So I just posted these clickable links, so you can sign up for those for free to practice your speaking. Okay, so those classes will be coming up. All right, and definitely sign up for those. So we're kind of diversifying. YouTube's fun. YouTube's great. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good elements to YouTube, but you know there are certain parts that can be even better, and some of these new platforms are doing a great job. Lighthall is real time. There's no lag. I even saw in this class that there was a bit of lag on YouTube there. So Lighthall doesn't have that, and Lighthall has audio interactions as well, so you can actually speak to each other while you are watching the class, okay? So some good advantages there. Okay, IELTS listening section tips. Okay, so first things first, this is my first tip to you for the listening section. During the during the interview time, I'm just gonna do it like this. So during, sorry, not interview, during, now you can probably hear me a bit better now. During the instruction time, the instruction time is about 90 seconds. The listening section is the first part of the IELTS exam, and you'll hear instructions. It will be like, welcome to the listening section, the IELTS exam. This is an exam produced by Cambridge ESOL examination. You will be able to listen, but you'll only listen once. Answer the questions while you listen. You will not be able to listen a second time. So it's 90 seconds. Be familiar with the instructions. You have to answer while you listen. And during the instruction time, check out the topics of all 4 sections. You're absolutely allowed to do that, okay? Especially in the computer-based exam, you can click through and check all 4 of the topics. So let's do that right now. I'm gonna put on my ears. Riyadh, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Okay. Dear Beck, if you miss some of the questions in your listening, don't panic. You can always use logic and the questions to help you answer them as well. So even if you missed it, you might be able to answer it. Just don't freak out, okay? I will show you how you can catch all the answers the first time that you listen as well, okay? All right. So let's hop back over to our website here at aehelp.com, or yeah, this is GIELTS. This is aehelp.com here. Okay. So again, when you sign up and you click on that big red button, then you get this My Student account. And in your My Student account, you have all of these really nice goodies here. Let's see if you can, maybe I made it a bit too big. There we go. You have all these really nice goodies here. So you have your computer-based practice exams, you have online course, exam books, lesson videos, audio CDs, that's what we're looking for today, and additional services. So let's pop down the audio CDs. There we go. Now this is test 4. So we go to test 4 and we go to listening section 1 here. Okay, so for those of you that have access to our websites, we're looking at this one here. Okay, And if you don't, it's okay. I'm going to play the audio and you should be able to hear it. I'll make sure that you do. Okay, and so right now I'm just showing you what we do during the instructions. So we have kind of the same instructions in our audio as in your official IELTS exam, and the same amount of time. So we're looking for the topics of each of the four parts while we listen to this. So listen carefully, students, and try to catch the topics of each of these. Here we go, okay?
This recording is copyrighted by 2Think1 Solutions Inc. and World ESL Tutors. You will hear several different recordings, and you will answer questions on what you hear. There will be time given to read the instructions and questions, and you will be given a chance to check your work. The recordings will be played only once. The test is made up of 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Listening Section 1. You will hear a conversation between a student and a university administrator. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this question will be played.
Oh, hi there. Is this the University Registrar's office?
Yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university's Assistant Registrar. What can I help you with today?
Great. Thank you for seeing me today, Ms. Reed. I have a few concerns about my registration for the upcoming semester.
The student says she has concerns about registration, so B has been indicated for you. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
All right, so we are going to do that in just a moment, okay? Now, you saw me move around in the IELTS listening section there, and I was, of course, doing my best to annotate and highlight, underline different parts of the text with this nice pink highlighter, okay? So the question that I have for everyone who was watching me do that while we were listening to the instructions, and this is exactly what you will do. Now, in the computer-based exam, you can navigate to the different sections or the different parts of the listening very quickly with the navigation bar at the bottom of your screen, okay? So in the computer based, they also call it computer delivered, okay, exam, you can navigate to different parts with the index at the bottom of the screen very quickly. In the paper-based exam, you're going to have to flip the pages, obviously, okay? The trick here is look for the topic words, okay? So look for topic nouns, especially nouns that repeat. Okay, there was one noun for part 3 in this case that you probably saw repeat often. We'll see who caught that. Okay, so part 1, what is it about? Okay, based on what I was highlighting there. Part 2, what is that about? Okay. Part 3, what is that about? And then part 4, what is that about? Okay, let me know. So there's a logic to this. There's a logic to why you want to look at the topics of part 1, 2, 3, 4 when you're listening to the instructions, because that will help prime your brain. Okay, the brain works much more effectively when it has a little bit of advanced information about the content of what's going on. So part 1, hopefully, yeah, Sana, very good. So Sana says it's something about a university student. Very good. So when we think about university students, your brain is probably already thinking about classes, registration, marks, okay, assignments, projects, right? Okay, good. Part 2 is about a resort, sure. Okay, and part 3, Simran says part 3 is professor in their university. Not really. That's where we had that kind of noun that was repeating. Kirill says there was something about beach equipment, but that was too much detail, Kirill. So part 3 was about zoos. Okay. I underlined that word several times, so you saw that word multiple times, right, in the listening. So here, when we got to part 3, right, so part 3, I highlighted these words here. So argument given against zoos, right? And then we had zoo animals and zoos, and then more zoos here as well. So I showed you that there was this kind of repetitive noun, zoos. Okay. So hopefully some of you caught that, right? Pay careful attention. It could really help you to save some marks. And then part 4 was about the loggerhead turtle. That's right, Simran, you got that one. Yeah, very good. So loggerhead turtle. Okay. All right. So when you are practicing at home and you identify the topic of each of these different listening parts, okay, you should also think of the common general concepts that are associated with it, and of course in English. And at home, when you're practicing, you should write down what those are, okay? So when you are thinking about a resort, okay, what are some common words and common ideas associated with that topic, okay? So at home, when you are practicing for the listening section and you identify the topics during the instruction time, you should think of common words and content associated with those topics. This will greatly help you to understand more of the audio and get more answers correct for a higher band score. Okay. All right. So, when you are thinking about a resort, what kinds of information or what kind of content is in your head? So when you think about going to a resort, going to a vacation hotel, if you will, or a vacation motel, condo, what do you think about? So what will you find there? What do you expect to find there? What do most people think when you say resort, or I'm going to a resort? Mandeep says accommodations, facilities. Very good, Mandeep. Kirill says the beach, the sea. Yeah, and you'll see that you're absolutely on the right track when we get to part 2. Okay. Amra says a spa. Very nice. Absolutely. Why not have a good spa? Hotel. Yeah, the rooms, right, where you stay. Okay. Very good. Cafe. Yeah, restaurant, right? Very good. Okay. Nice. All right. How about zoos? So when you think about zoos, so for part 3, and very good, by the way, if you are thinking of all of these words in English as you think about the topic resorts, you're definitely going to do better in this listening part 2, and you're going to see that shortly here. Okay. Yeah, absolutely, Simran. Swimming pool, right? Of course, in a gym. Okay, zoos. Dilshat says animals. Chayan Kip says animals. Yeah, of course, right? Would be an interesting zoo with no animals. Different kinds of animals. Flora and fauna, sure. Plants and animals is another way. Amra, hippo. Why not? Hippo, tiger. Think about the specific animals, right? Tiger, elephant. Popular zoo exhibits. Okay. I don't know about fossil. Wild animals. Sure. What else? Yeah, okay. Cages. Yeah, yeah. They're in cages, right? The animals. They're not usually just running around freely. So, cages, birds. Okay. Souvenir shop. Where I have some kind of dyslexia spelling that word. Souvenir shops, giraffes, gorillas. Yep. Okay. How about learning, information? Children, right? Those are all at zoos, so keep your mind open. Simran says swings, right? Visitors. Business. It's a business, right? Money. Okay. All of those words should be coming to mind. Scientists. Okay. Zoologists. Entertainment. There you go, Jerkan. Very good. Trainers. Yeah. Zookeepers. Right. Okay. How about a loggerhead turtle? So we're kind of almost getting into an even more specific topic here. Well, part 4, that's what it is. How about a loggerhead turtle? So if you get a topic on loggerhead turtle, what do you think? What comes to mind when you think of a loggerhead turtle? Maybe you don't know what a loggerhead turtle is, but you know what a turtle is for sure. Kirill says leg, head, and back. Carolina says this emoji comes to mind. Okay, sand, almost extinct. Legs, head, back, and shell, right? They have that nice shell. Water, ocean. Reptile. Okay. Type of sea turtle. Okay. Newen says it's a snail with legs. I don't know about that. Is it an amphibian? I don't think so. Patience. Slow. Yeah, absolutely. Right? When I think of turtle, I think it's slow. We actually use that expression. All right, so so far so good. Eggs, right? Turtles lay eggs. Okay. All right, very good. So once again, a very important tip for the listening section is during the instruction time, the 90 seconds, check out the topic of all 4 sections. You need to do that in your real IELTS exam as well. It's a very good strategy. A lot of our students who learned to do this said, hey, I did that, Adrian, and guess what? I improved my listening by a whole band score from my previous exam where I didn't do that. Keep in mind that in the computer-based delivered test, you can jump to the different parts of the listening very quickly with your navigation menu at the bottom of the screen, okay? Look for the topic nouns, especially nouns that repeat like zoos, all right? And when you're at home practicing, then you want to not only catch the topic, but you want to kind of think about these words that are associated with those topics. Try to think about as many of them as possible so that you can catch the audio, you can understand it much faster, much better. Okay, does that make sense? So is everybody picking up this tip that I'm giving you? It's a very valuable tip. Okay, so by doing this, by practicing this, so by doing this strategy and practicing this before your IELTS exam, you will have better comprehension and better scores. Okay, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Okay, all right. I see a lot of people saying yes. Thank you, got it. Okay, so do that, practice that, all right? Okay, again, if you want to get all of our great strategies, make sure to go to our website, aehelp.com, and use this code, CARS20, for a 20% discount. We're going to go back to our website, aehelp.com, right now, and we're going to do this listening, okay? So that was https aehelp.com. Okay. All right. So here we go with the listening. I'm going to rewind it just a little bit to give you a bit of preparation time, but not all the way. And then we're going to get going here. So everybody listen and answer the questions while you listen. Don't put the answers in the chat. Give everybody a chance. We'll go over the answers after. Okay. So here we go with listening test for part 1. Okay.
You will see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this
no
question
examples
will be played.
in exams
Oh,
now.
hi there. Is this the University Registrar's office?
Yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university's assistant registrar. What can I help you with today?
Great. Thank you for seeing me today, Ms. Reed. I have a few concerns about my registration for the upcoming semester.
The student says she has concerns about registration, so B has been indicated for you. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Oh, hi there. Is this the University Registrar's office?
Yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university's assistant registrar. What can I help you with today?
Great. Thank you for seeing me today, Ms. Reed. I have a few concerns about my registration for the upcoming semester.
Certainly. What can I help you with? Sorry, what was your name again, Ms.?
Anderson, Melanie Anderson. And well, my first question concerns my student record. I'm beginning my second year of uni, but my first didn't go so well.
You're worried about your marks then, Ms. Anderson, and how they impact your registration status?
Exactly. I don't know my precise average, but it is not good. Could you look into this for me?
Absolutely. Could you please spell your last name for me? I've seen it spelt with either an E or an O in the final syllable.
It's an E. Andersen. My family ancestry is Swedish.
Right then. And the next piece of information I need is your student registration number.
Okay, it seems I've left my student identification with my registration number on it in the car. Can I give you some other piece of information or identification?
Yes, you can. Along with your surname, I can find your account with your date of birth.
Great. It's the 20th of August, 1997.
The 20th of August, 1997?
Yes, that's right.
All right. Let's see your account then. Okay, here it is. Well, I see what you mean about your marks. These are certainly not ideal. However, your average is above the level necessary to proceed to Year 2 of your programme. However, I do see there's a hold on your account which is preventing you from registering for classes.
Yes. See, I thought that was because of my marks.
No, it's not. It's actually because you have unpaid library fines.
Library fines?
Yes. During the past year, you must have been tardy in returning some items to the university library.
Yes, I think I was. Hardly seems like a good reason to prevent a student from registering, though.
I know how you feel, but books are expensive for the university library to acquire, and we must coerce students to pay fines one way or another.
How much do I owe?
£6.20.
£6.20? Well, I suppose it's a relief the total is so small.
You now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 6 to 10.
Well, now that is out of the way, I did have another concern. I need advice on what modules to take in my first semester. I'm in the BA Art History program, but as you can see from my record, I failed a class which is a prerequisite for 2 modules I'm supposed to take this semester.
Yes, it looks like that's right. It was Art History 1270 that you failed. Is that right?
1270. Yes, I took it with Professor Calder. I found his teaching style did not match my learning style.
Right. Well, that art history class is indeed a prerequisite for both Art History 2170 and 2260.
Yes, unfortunately that's what I found out earlier. Is there anything that can be done?
Well, Miss Anderson, I think there is. Here's what we'll do. We'll register you in the module you failed last year, and then we'll put you in Art History 2240, which counts towards your degree in place of 2260. 2240 has no prerequisite, however.
But what about the 2170 class?
Yes, well, that's where we'll have to be creative. Are you comfortable taking an extra class in the spring semester?
Yes, I think so.
Good. We will register you in 1270 and 2240 in the fall, and then register you in 2170 in the spring.
Great. And one final question. Is Professor Calder teaching Art History 1270 again this autumn?
Yes, he is, but I've put you in Professor Hennessy's section instead. I think you'll be more successful.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute to check your
students,
answers.
let's hop back to aehelp.com. Again, this website that we're using is our website, aehelp.com. You've got original practice exams. And by the way, for those students that have access to the website, you can immediately download the app through the website by scanning the QR code. Okay, and then you can get the iOS or the Android app, depending on your phone, with that QR code. All right, so lots of goodies there to help you succeed. Use the 30 seconds, students, to review and revise any answers. I was doing a bit of highlighting there. I was making your journey a little bit simpler by showing you when the information is coming. Now, again, just remember that since 2020, so exams from 2020 do not have this example, but you will see it in older exams, okay? So 2020 and onward, no example. All right, they go right into question 1. So the first question here was, in which year is the student enrolled in? Okay, so in which year is the student enrolled? First, second, or third? A, B, or C? Okay. Simran says B, Sana says B, Kirill says B, and most of you, yeah, she says that. She says, I'm in my second year. So the correct answer is second year. Very nice. Okay, what is the student concerned about most? This is a bit of a tricky one. You really have to pay attention to qualifying words like most. So what is she worried about the most? Is it A, her marks, B, her registration status, or C, her identification? And here we're getting some different answers. This was a bit of a tricky one. The correct answer here is B, her registration status. Okay. They say it twice. Let me show you. Okay, so if you're not sure, here's an important tip. Okay, this is another important tip, and you want to do this at home. All right, it's very, very important. So when you are uncertain why an answer in the listening is correct, go to the transcripts and check the reason. Okay, so the transcripts, all right, let me show you what I mean. Okay, so in our case here, we will go to page 110. Here it is. So see that? This is what they're actually saying. This is the transcripts. It's in the back of the book. In good exam books, like the exam books that we have on our websites, you have the transcripts. We even have the transcripts for the instructions. So you can see here, this is what the narrator is saying. This recording is copyrighted by 2 Think 1 Solutions Inc. and World ESL Tutors. You will now hear several. Okay, so and then we see Melanie here, who's the student. And Melanie is talking to Deborah, the registrar. And Melanie says, oh, hi there. This is the university registrar's office. And Deborah says, yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university assistant registrar. What can I help you with today? Okay. And then we even highlight where the answers are coming. So right here, you can see I'm beginning my second year of uni. So that's answer for question 1, second year of uni. So that's how we know she's enrolled in her second year. But she says, but my first didn't go so well. Okay. And then Deborah, and it's a tricky one, but it makes sense, says, you are worried about your marks then, Miss Anderson, and how they impact your registration status, because at the end of the day, your marks can be a problem, but the bigger problem is going to school and going to the next year, or applying for a master's or a PhD. If you have low marks, that's your bigger problem, right? That you're not able to do that. So that's where question 2, So she says exactly, I don't know my average, but it's not good. Could you take a look? And now it's kind of like, okay, but I really thought it was the marks. Be patient. Sometimes the answers also come later on in the discussion, okay? So if you keep looking, or if you keep listening and visualizing, I should say, later, Deborah says something else that's kind of interesting. Deborah says this. All right, let's see your account then. Okay, here it is. Well, I see what you mean about your marks. These are certainly not ideal. However, your average is above the level necessary to proceed to year 2 of your program. There is a hold on your account which is preventing you from registering for the classes. And then Melanie says, yes, I thought that was because of my marks. And then Deborah says, no, it's actually because of fines. Okay. So kind of an interesting and an important tip is when you're reviewing, pay attention, right? So as you listen, pay attention, because answers often repeat and reveal themselves even more later in the audio. Okay? Does that make sense, everyone? So even if you missed it the first time, and I think we had this question at the start of the class, one of our students was asking this question. It was, let's see, Dior Beck says, sometimes I miss answers. Don't panic if you miss an answer, because there's a good chance, especially for part 1 and part 2, that you're going to hear a repeat for a lot of the answers. But you have to pay attention, and you have to keep that in mind. Okay? All right? So it's quite connected, the content. All right? Okay, so let's keep going. And we have to hop back to our questions. So back we go to page 7 or 8. There we go. All right. So the correct answer here was B. Okay, so both are B. So this first answer is B, second answer is B. All right, now for the next one. The question says, complete the notes below. Write no more than 3 words and or a number. Here we talked about Melanie, her name, Melanie what? And they spelt it. So they gave you the spelling. What was Melanie's name? Was it an E or an O? I believe it was an E. Anderson, E instead of an O, right? I think she says that. My name has an E instead of an O, Anderson, with an E, right? You have to really pay attention to that. Okay, birthday. They don't actually say birthday. She doesn't say my birthday is. My date of birth, I believe, is what she said. My date of birth is. Okay, so what is her date of birth, which here is shown as birth date. Now, they give you 1997, so make sure not to copy that into the answer key. Ruslan says 20th of August. Make sure you have capital letters here. So 20th August. Yeah, and the easiest way to do it is AUG or AUG 20. And to be really technically correct, I would put a period there. for the abbreviation of August. So AUG20, that's the easiest, most accurate answer. August 20. Okay, they'll take that. So they'll take the abbreviation for months. Okay, library fines. So it turns out it's not actually her marks, it's her library fines that are preventing her from registration. And you have the pound symbol, so you don't even need the word pound. Fateh, Ruslan, Kirill, Sana, Deepti, Rutu, Amra, Zaolin, Lois, Kisara all say Melanie has £6 and 20 pence in library fines. That's the correct answer. Yeah, absolutely. Good job. Okay. All right. So now we had a little bit of a break and then a bit more information. What program is the student in? What program is the student in? Again, she only says this once, but it was very clear. Yeah, it was BA Art History. And no more than 3 words, so BA Art History is okay. If you wrote just Art History, that's okay. You got the mark. Okay, art history is okay. Bachelor of Art History or BA Art History is good too. Bachelor Art History is okay. Bachelor of, dangerous because 4 words, right? BA Art History. All right, so far so good. This was short answer. This was kind of a tougher one. I mean, you really had to catch it, and you have to take notes there. Let's take a look at this. This was matching the class number with the correct description. So you had to put the right letter into the right number here. All right. And let me just remove the colors. So it did become clear. As long as you were paying attention, listening carefully, the answers became clear. What is the answer for number 7? So class 2170 is will take in the spring. Very good, students. A lot of you got that. That's great. So that was B. Okay. They repeated that. The registrar said, we have to be clever with that. Are you okay taking a class in the spring? We'll put you in class 2170 in the spring. So that was very, very clear. Number 8. Hopefully everybody got that. That was very clear, and that information repeats in the audio several times. Mandeep says, yes, I certainly did. And Amra and Durendra and many others say, yeah, I got that. That was A. Yes, it's true. So that's the class she failed. That's the one that she's having issues with, right? And then number 9, class 2260. Well, by a process of deduction, if you've gotten number 7, number 8, you should definitely not get number 9 wrong. It was C. You don't use any answer more than once. So it's B, A, C. They have to have this order. Okay. 7 is B, 8 is A, and 9 is C. And then the last one. This one you should get. The registrar says this quite clearly. So the student is registered for 1270 with the same professor as she previously had. Is it true or is it false? Number 10 is false. So the registrar says, yes, the same professor's teaching it, but I put you in another professor's class instead. Okay. So again, if you're not sure, check the transcripts. Okay. So here's the transcripts. And this is where Deborah, the registrar, says, yes, he is, but I put you in Professor Hennessy's section instead. Okay. There's two words here that really help you. One is the word but, and the other word is instead. Okay. So from these two words, from these two negative words, we know that she did not put her in the same class with the same professor for that one. Okay. So transcripts are very, very useful. Use the transcripts. If you're not sure, use the transcripts. All right. Everybody got that? 2 thumbs up. Okay. Transcripts are super helpful. I remember when we created these exams, we put in a lot of extra effort to provide the transcripts to all of the people. So Mandeep is asking, where do I find this book on AE Help? Mandeep, when you go to AE Help and you go to this tab here, the exam workbooks, study plans, okay, and then you open that up. This is exam book 2. So you have exam book 1 here, and you have exam book 2 there. And so you click on that exam book 2 and you download it to my desktop here. Okay, then open it up, enter my password. Okay, it's a different password, but it'll open up. Here, let me try that one more time. I think I might be using this one instead. Yeah, there we go. So there it is. It's open in my PDF format, and it's, of course, white pages because it's formatted for your home learning. And then you are into this exam. This was the one that we're doing right now with the student, taken and failed. So that's where you find it, okay, in your course. By the way, your password for the PDF book is always your email address that you use to register for the website, okay? All right. Okay, everyone, and back we come here because we're going to listen to part 2 right now. All right, so good question, Mandeep or Manideep. Yeah, you're welcome for that. All right, so let's listen to part 2. Part 2 is, of course, again, out of the audio CDs here. And let's listen to part 2, and then let's do it. Let's answer the questions while we listen, and then we'll share them after. Don't put it in the chat, just share them after, okay? So CD4, listening section 2. Everybody's ready? Here we go.
Now turn to section 2. Take some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Listening, section 2. You will hear a woman showing a group of people around an all-inclusive resort hotel. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully to the interview and answer questions 11 to 16.
I'd like to welcome all of you to the White Sands 5-star resort here in beautiful Varadero, Cuba. Today I'm going to show you the fine features you'll get to experience during your stay here at White Sands. Before we begin, does anyone have any questions?
Hi there, yes, I have a quick question. How long will the tour be? I have to meet the rest of my family for lunch in an hour.
Not a problem, sir. The tour will take no more than 30 minutes. If after this time anyone wants more details on any of the resort's features, I can help them out individually. Any other questions? No? Well, let's get started then. White Sands covers 10 acres of land, including direct access to over 250 metres of pristine Caribbean coastline. It is perfectly safe to swim in the waters here at White Sands, but do be on the lookout for jellyfish in the water. They are not deadly, but their sting does pack a punch. As we pass through the lobby, I want you to take note of the main bar area on your left. The bar is open from 11 in the morning each day and closes at 1 o'clock a.m. each night. As we proceed down the main path, you'll see 4 apartment buildings marked A and B on your left and C and D on your right. Between buildings C and D on your right is one of our finest restaurants featuring traditional Cuban cuisine. We have 7 restaurants in all at White Sands, and we invite you to try your favourites while you are here.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
In our brochure, I read that we are only entitled to 5 restaurant visits per week we stay at the resort. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. The restaurants are only open for dinner, and reservations are mandatory. You will be able to make reservations at the end of this tour or any time before 5 this evening. When you are not dining at our a la carte restaurants, you may eat at either of our 2 buffet restaurants, which are open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Additionally, there is a night cafe, which is open until 4 a.m.
Does the resort have a nightclub for dancing?
Yes, of course. We have a discotheque located at the end of the main resort path, further away from the apartments. This is, of course, for noise reasons. In fact, the discotheque is conveniently located next to the night cafe.
And what are the discotheque's hours?
It opens at 8 in the evening and closes at 3 a.m. early the next morning. Last call for drinks is at 2:45.
You now have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 17 to 20.
Next, I'd like to take you down to the beach and show you some of the facilities and services we offer. As we approach the beach, you'll notice the brilliant white sand that our resort is named after. The sand is incredibly fine and is lovely to walk on in your bare feet. Now you can see to your left is one of our beach bar facilities. There is also another beach bar about 100 metres to your right. These bars serve beer and cocktails from noon until 4:30 in the afternoon. On your right is a small cafe serving snack food items during the same opening hours as the beach bar. And straight ahead of us is our beach changing facility, where you can change into your swimming costume, use the toilet, or have a shower.
Are there any water sports included in our holiday package?
Good question. Yes, there are. You have unlimited access to our skimboards, surfboards, and beach sports equipment, such as beach volleyball and football. Additionally, you may sign up for windsurfing at our activity desk, located adjacent to the resort lobby. Finally, you may also register for our weekly water polo tournament, which is held each Friday afternoon at 2:30. Does anyone else have any?
That is the end of section 2. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, check those answers. Let me just quickly stop the audio here. There we go. And now we'll answer these questions together. I was a little bit late coming to those last few questions, but that's okay. And you'll see why. Okay. All right. So let's answer the questions together now. Okay, it's a little bit tougher for me to move along just because I'm scrolling around, obviously, here. And it'll be easier for you a little bit in the real exam. All right, so number 11, choose the correct letters A, B, or C. Number 11, approximately how long will the tour be according to the guide? And we hear one of the guests say, how long will the tour be? I have to meet my family for dinner in an hour. And then the guide doesn't actually say the answer the same way, but they paraphrase this in the audio. So a quarter of an hour, it's 15 minutes, 1 hour, 60 minutes, or C, half an hour. The correct answer, Shudarshan and Vimal and Lois are saying the correct answer is C, half an hour, and that is the correct answer. It's C, half an hour. The guide says the tour will be 30 minutes in length. So half an hour. Okay, so listen for paraphrasing. Okay, listen for paraphrasing. All right. This is again a tip here. Listen for paraphrasing. The guide says 30 minutes, which of course is equal to half an hour. Okay. All right, now here, 4 features of the resort. And I was helping you here a bit. With this kind of question where it's questions 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is a multiple choice. You have to take notes. That's what I was doing. It's very difficult to catch these, especially because of the order. Like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ordered here. And it's extremely difficult to catch this as you're going along. So it's much better to write this down, and don't worry about spelling. Like I misspelled the word acres. 10 acres. So 10 acres of land, coastline, which is equal to a beach, right? Safe water, punchy jellyfish. It means that they sting, but they don't kill you. Main bar, 4 buildings, abbreviations. Notice how I use BLDGS, so buildings, right? Cuban restaurants, 7 restaurants, 2 buffets, night cafe. Okay, so if I look at my notes and now I look at the possible answers, then I realize night cafe is one of them. Okay. Deadly jellyfish, no. 24-hour Cuban restaurant, no. 4 apartment buildings, yes. A, B, C, and D. A number of restaurants, yes. Because it was 7. A dozen acres of land, no. It was 10 acres, not a dozen. Dozen would be 12. Okay, oops, I shouldn't have done that. Night cafe was correct. So night cafe, yes. 4 apartment buildings, yes. Yes. Direct beach access, coastline, yes. Several buffet restaurants, no. There's only 2. Several is more than 2. Okay, several is more than 2 in English. Okay. Several is more than 2. How do we say 2 in English in another way? If I want to say 2, instead of 2, I can say something else. What can I say? Not several. Several is 3 or more. Okay, keep that in mind. This is a bit of learning for those of you that didn't know this, so that you don't make this mistake. This is where vocabulary is important, okay? So several means more than 3 or more, which is not correct, right? Zanibek says it's a couple. Yeah, that's right. So 2 would be a couple. If H were a couple of buffet restaurants, then it would be correct. Okay. So 2 is a couple. And we don't say a pair of restaurants. That would be weird. And we don't say double restaurants. That would be weird too. But we would say a couple of restaurants. Okay. All right, several is 3 or more. A little bit confusing sometimes, but hey, you know, it's IELTS. They're testing for Band 9 as well. Okay, so the correct answers were A and D and E and G. Okay. All right, let's keep going. What time is the last call for discotheque? So last call means last chance to get a drink. Okay, so last call means last chance to buy drinks. For those of you that might not know that. Yeah, it was B. Very good. Very good, students. Nicely done. B. Okay, good. Nice. All right. And then the configuration. So this was where I got a little bit slow because it was hard to get all this on the screen. So was it A or B or C or D? The correct answer here is D. Beach bar to the left, beach bar to the right, cafe to the right. Yeah, cafe's on the right side. That's right, Simran. Yeah, from the entrance. So there's the entrance. Left side, right side. That's the correct order there. Okay, very good. Listen to those directions: left, right, above, below, past, before. Be very familiar with all these prepositions for labeling diagrams. Okay, labeling diagrams. What's the tip? What's the trick? Learn prepositions and directions. Okay. Zeinbeck, yeah, this could easily be your real IELTS exam. It would be very, very similar to this. Okay. All right. And then this is where I got a little bit, I was a little bit behind here. So the beach bars serve beer and cocktails from noon until what time? Did anybody catch that after? I figure, just before people start to go for their dinner, which is probably like 5:30. And Simran caught it. Simran says, yeah, I got it. It was, I remembered it. It was 4:30 in the afternoon. 4:30. Okay. Now, when you're writing time, students, just an important note here. I've noticed some students do this and it's kind of weird. So when you are writing time in English, use a colon. Okay. Whoop. Not a period. Okay. So it's 4:30, not 4:30. Okay. All right. So use a colon, not a period. Period for a lot of people in English-speaking countries is very confusing. If you do this, it's usually for money. Okay, like $4.30. All right. Okay. And Kiran says, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you. Well, now you know, Kiran. Okay. All right. Mohammed, no reading lesson this week, but we will have it next week. Okay. Additionally to the small cafe on the beach, we also offer changing what? And this is very British English. British and Canada, US, we would say changing rooms, but in Britain, in the UK, they say changing facilities. Okay, so the correct answer there was changing facilities. And it's watch your singular plural, so facilities would be wrong. It's a changing facility. Not plural. Careful. Pay attention to the preposition okay? That will guide you for plurals and singulars. Yeah, Dordona caught it. Dordona's like, whoa, wait, Adrian. There's an other. Yeah, Fateh, if you say changing room, it's a perfect synonym, so they might give it to you, but facility is definitely the safe bet. Okay? All right. All right, so number 18, 430 with a colon. Number 19, facility. And number 20, it's some kind of sports tournament. Hopefully you got that. It's a water polo tournament. 2 words. Water polo tournament. All right. Not a pool tournament. Water polo. Water polo. It's a team sport played in water where they throw the ball and then chuck it into the net. It's kind of exciting. It's an interesting kind of sport. All right. So, viewers, students, candidates, you just sat through listening part 1 and part 2 with lots of strategies and tips. How did you do out of 20? What did you get? What was your score? Okay. Now, here's a hint. Your goal should be at least 16 or greater. If you're getting less than 16, you might get into some trouble to get a good band score, okay? So for part 1, part 2, you got to be at around 16 or more. So Durendra, 18 is good. Monkey, 19 is great. Kama, 14, you got to pick it up a bit. Isa, 15, yep, you got to keep learning, keep focusing, okay? 17, Enna is okay. Yeah. Later, next week, we will finish listening part 3 and 4 of this exam. And then you will be able to go to the website. And at the bottom of the website here, I don't know if you can even see that, but let me just try to do like a super zoom. At the very, very bottom of the website, you have what's called a score calculator. Let's see if that comes up on the screen there for you. I'm just checking it out on the lag here. So you have a score calculator. I'm going to kind of circle that. It's right there, score calculator. Okay, actually, you know what? I'll click on it. It's AEHelp/score calculator. And you can type your score in from 40, like 35, and then it will say, hey, if you get 35 correct, then you'll score a band 8. And the band 8 is actually behind me there, so you don't see the band 8, but behind me here, you know what? Let's I can move myself out of the way, and then you might be able to. There we go. How's that? I don't think I've ever done that. Scoot out of the way. There I go. Yep, I can see myself going. Oh, do you see the band? You still don't. That's annoying. So yeah, you'll see the band-aid here now. Watch this. Okay. There we go. Now you'll see it. It'll pop up above my head. I'm back. Okay. So aehelp.com/score calculator. That's where you go. All right, students, good job in today's class. Again, to get access to all of our audio practice exams, click that red button to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Definitely well worth it. So make sure to go there. I'm a certified British Council agent, so I have a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about, okay? All right, students, I will be back tomorrow with speaking, and our chat seems to be working just fine and dandy now, so I look forward to speaking with students tomorrow for speaking part 2 and 3. Remember to check out our latest IELTS speaking video on our channel. It's awesome. It's a student from Madhya Pradesh. Again, certainly a good idea to study on our websites. We tend to give the best materials for the best price and many students know that. So ahelp.com for academic IELTS, GIELTShelp.com for general IELTS. Use the discount code CARS20. That's it for now. I will be back tomorrow. Good start to the weekend, everyone. Wherever you are, much love to you. Chin up, push forward. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria for now. Bye.